Hey everybody, Echo here. So yeah, I've been having a pretty great weekend, just working, spending time with my beautiful wife, happy to just be alive because there's just been so many things going on. So yeah, so I know this intro is a little different than usual. There's going to be no camera, just audio because I'm still trying to fix up the room. So it's just a mess and I can't really film in there right now. So I'm just using a microphone and, we're just going to do audio and I'll just put some pictures and stuff. It was a little frustrating because, like, I filmed, or not filmed, I had recorded already the whole beginning, basically like almost 20 minutes of the video, and it just got corrupted, and now I just got to redo the whole thing all over again. So, yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I felt like I had some great stuff. But let's just get into this already. So the movie I watched over the weekend, which was really interesting to me, and I just wanted to do a video of it, just talking about it, because like I just have to talk about it. So the movie we're gonna cover today is this movie called Hive. It is a Tubi original. Just came out this year. Xochitl Gomez. It stars in the movie as Sasha. She's a babysitter, and I want to say, oh my goodness, I just gotta look over my notes again. Aaron Dominguez stars as her brother Marco, and right away, I really like the brother and sister chemistry. I feel like they play off each other really good, and I feel like Tubi movies, especially like the Tubi originals, they always get a lot of flack for being like really bad. I'll try to insert some clips if they don't get copyrighted. But for the most parts, Tubi has actually stepped up their game. Like their budget has just increased overall. Like they get a higher budget now, and I gotta say was not terrible. It kind of gave me a little bit. It felt like a throwback, kind of. Think like almost kind of like that movie Slither. I don't know if you guys seen that one. J.J. Abrams directed it. It was one of his first movies. Yeah, it was really. It's got that classic vibe to it, sci-fi-ish, So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of spoilers. I just kind of want to break it down, talk about it, tell you how I felt about it. Like I said, it's very interesting. Let me give you an overall what. Yeah, fuck it. We'll spoil the whole damn thing. I just want to break it down. So Sasha, she was going to college. I believe it was for medical because like that keeps coming up. Like she knows like the basic, how to clean wounds and stuff. So I'm guessing it was for like a medical, right? Medical degree. So she had to quit going to school because, or like she either quit going to school or she quit, not quit, but like before she even started going to school, she had to place it on hold because financially they just weren't doing well. So she ends up taking a job as a babysitter in a gated community with her brother, who his name is Marco, and he is a landscaper. So he ends up taking her to this subdivision, and he advises her like, you know what, just stay invisible, don't talk to anybody, just work, right? Just work, get your paycheck, that's it. That's his warning to her. But Sasha, she's more of like outspoken, and she wants to do things. Like she doesn't just want to do nothing. She doesn't want to just exist. She wants to have an impact. Like she knows that the person she's babysitting for has actually went to the college that she's trying to go into. So she like wants to talk to her. But her brother's like, no, just leave it alone. So yeah, she goes and she learns that there was a babysitter, and like they actually showed this babysitter at the beginning of the movie. The babysitter was like attacked, and we don't see the attack, but we see the aftermath, and she's like running through the neighborhood and nobody wants to help her, like not even the adults. She's like crying, she's like, so please help me, and she's like bleeding, and she goes to the playground, and that was a mistake because like all the kids end up like surrounding her. She ends up dying on the spinning thing or whatever. It's pretty like crazy. All the kids are there just laughing. It's almost giving me Children of the Corn type of vibe. I mean, it kind of is like Children of the Corn if you think about it, but the kids aren't evil, you know. It's something else. They talk about the babysitter just abandoning Zaylee, the little girl. Sasha's like, oh no, that's not me. She ends up like taking note and writing down everything that the Zaylee's mom tells her, not to take her to the playground, to keep her inside, not to eat any sugar, no snacks or anything like that. They have to be like healthy stuff because she gets like an upset stomach or something like that. Zaylee's mom leaves, and Zaylee's like kind of like aggressive with Sasha. When she first meets her, she hits her hand like really hard. She's kind of like just demanding, right? And then she starts talking to Sasha, and she's like, "Oh, can we go to the playground? Like I left my doll there." At first, Sasha's like, "No," but then she just gives in. Okay, we're just gonna go to the playground and get your doll, and that's it, right? What ends up happening is they go to the playground, but once they're at the playground, Zaylee disappears. She starts just playing, right? And talking to the kids. And then she goes into this slide. And once she goes into the slide, she just disappears. It's like almost she went somewhere else. Sasha starts panicking. She starts trying to look for her. So she tries to talk to the kids, and they're just like ignoring her. But then I think she bumps into one of the kids, and then when she bumps into him, the little kid looks at her, looks at Sasha, and when Sasha's looking at the little girl or the kid shows their face, and they have this weird yellow wound. It looks infected. Pus is like coming out of it. Once that happens, all the kids stop playing and they just all start walking towards her, synchronized, right? They're all moving towards her, contorting their bodies, and then they do this thing throughout this whole movie where they bend backwards and they start walking, you know, like their body's upside down or something, like, and they start like crawling towards her, like all creepily. And they do that a couple times in this movie. It's a pretty interesting choice. So Sasha ends up leaving the playground because all the kids are just acting freaking weird. And Zaylee ends up texting her, "Oh, come find me. I'm scared." And then Zaylee ends up finding Sasha because Sasha's like, "Yeah, I'm not going back there." All the kids are just acting crazy, right? So they end up going back home, and Sasha's mad, upset. She's like, "What the hell was that? What are you doing?" And so they get there, and Zaylee starts complaining about her face, that she has a wound or something. Something's itchy, right? Sasha tries to help her, and she's trying to clean the wound, but when she's cleaning it, Zaylee ends up freaking out and just reacting strongly to it, pushing her away. And then Zaylee's mom calls Sasha on the phone, but I think she's trying to FaceTime her or something. Like, she's like, "Oh crap, I can't let your mom see you like this. I gotta clean, let's try to, cover that wound, right?" But then as she was trying to cover it, the wound actually just disappears. And then Zaylee's like, "I'm fine." And so Sasha's like, "What the hell?" And then she hears a freaking doorbell, and she's like, what is that?" And then she goes to check who's at the front door, and it's two little kids who just kind of just let themselves in. They end up playing with Zaylee, and Sasha's like, "You guys can't be here." She tries to like stop them from just running chaos. They just full blown start attacking her, and so she has to start like fighting. She ends up like fighting all three of the kids who tried to like they almost kill her, and like she starts bleeding, and she like grabs the scissors and she stabs Zaylee, and they just get into a big fight, and she ends up like running away scared, and she's like about to leave, but then as the moment she's about to leave, Zaylee's mom comes, and she's like talking to her like, "Oh, where are you going? Like, I have to pay you." And then And then Sasha's like, no, no, I just want to leave. Like, and she like talks to her, like saying that Zaylee attacked her and she almost like killed her. But then Zaylee's mom goes over there and Zaylee starts crying and saying that Sasha like attacked her and stuff. So Zaylee's mom's like, "Oh, you need to call the police. Call the police right now. Call the police because I want to file a report. I want to press charges on you and all this crap." And Sasha's like freaking out because Zaylee's mom's like criticizing her and saying that like you're never gonna go to college and like I'm gonna make sure you never do anything with your life. You're gonna go to jail. And Sasha's like freaking out because like she was attacked and now it's all her fault. So Sasha ends up like she does try to call the cops, but she has like zero service. Or like I don't know if she has like no service or like she ends up just panicking and she just leaves. She leaves and she ends up like running towards her brother Marco and like she's like freaking out and she finally gets up to Marco and she's like crying and telling him that that this place is not right. Some that she explains to him what happened, that all the kids were acting weird and crazy, and like when she was walking, this maid stopped her and told her like you need to get out of here because the little kids are gonna eat you, right? They're gonna kill you. And so she told her brother Marco about that the maid, I think the maid with the red cart or something like that she had warned her that this was going to happen, and she tells her brother like we need to get the hell out of here like now. And Marco at first is like kind of arguing with her saying like you're doing so well, and at first he kind of doesn't believe her and he's just criticizing her, and he told her, I told you not to get involved with these people, just put your head down and work, that's it. And she starts fighting back to him saying like what are you talking about, like all you do is just keep criticizing me and dogging me ever since like I'm about to go to college, like are you jealous of me? And that's when they kind of have like a heart to heart where Marco like tells her like he has all these checks that he hasn't even been spending, that he's just been saving because he wants to pay for her to go to college, and that he's actually like super proud of her. He kind of the resentment comes from her like not going to college and like putting it on the back burner because like he feels like he failed her because he didn't do enough to pay, for her to stay in college or to go to college full time, and he feels like a failure and he just doesn't want her to do nothing with her life. Like he's actually supportive of her. It's just that he just has this resentment building up because he's angry at himself. And it's a really sweet moment. Like I said, the dialogue in this movie isn't gonna blow you away, and it's kind of cliche. It could get kind of cringy, But when they do have those kind of sweet moments, like it's just pretty sweet, and like you kind of could relate to that, and it's kind of sad, like that the brother is just sacrificing, like he's trying to do that so she doesn't have to work those kind of jobs, right? So like I said, it was a sweet moment that they have. And he tells her to stay in the car, they're gonna pack up. He has a friend that he's working with the landscaping. I don't literally I just don't even remember his name. If I remember his name, I'll just edit into the video. But he has a friend who has like a fertilize, like he has a new like basically like a patent for his fertilizer. There's like soda in it or some shit like that. I don't know what it for some reason, but there's like soda in the fertilizer. And so he Marco tells his friend, he's like, "Hey, we need to wrap it up. Like let's go. We'll finish the job tomorrow cuz like my sister is like going through a rough time right now. So we need to go." So they start packing it up, and then Marco goes to his sister cuz like she starts panicking again, and she's like freaking out, and then like all of a sudden the ground just starts shaking, like rumbling, right? And out of nowhere, a playground just emerges from the ground, and like they're all like freaking out, and Marco's like not wanting to leave his friend behind because apparently that's like his childhood friend. And so he starts panicking, he starts calling out his name, but then his friend ends up being stabbed in the chest by the playground. Like a pole shoots up and just like impales him. And so basically, like the playground just kind of swallows him up. And that's when you kind of learn that like the children are being controlled by a monster underground. That's why the movie is called the Hive. It's like an entity, and it basically uses the environment. Like there's like sinkholes, right? Like a pool is a portal into the belly of the beast, right, where the hive is, and like a pool, and then the slide, right? So they start freaking out, um, and they end up like getting separated, and then Sasha, she ends up getting swallowed. Like the kids end up attacking, and like she ends up getting swallowed, getting taken away by the hive, by the entity. And Marco gets his he gets his foot like all messed up, and he's like panicking, and he's like, this is where I kind of like the movie, because like usually nowadays a lot of movies have been like, okay, this is not like a gripe with modern day movies, because even old movies, they always have final girls, and I have no problem with final girls. I love final girls, right? Those like Friday the 13th, all those movies are great. Nightmare on Elm Street. But usually it's always like about one survivor, and then like, you know, they have a group of people that end up just dying. Well, this movie Hive is a lot different, because like at first you think Sasha is the final girl, but it turns out like no, it's not just about her. Marco ends up taking over for the movie, and he's like pretty much the main character throughout the rest of the movie when Sasha gets swallowed up by the hive. So they pivot, and now it's Marco desperately trying to find his sister. So he ends up like trying to find how to get to his sister, but like he just can't figure out a way. But then he sees a maid with a red cart, and he remembers that his sister was telling him about that. So he ends up getting a what is it, like a rake, like a metal rake, and he uses that kind of like as a like a walking cane, because his foot's all messed up. And so he talks to the maid, and at first the maid's like kind of reluctant to help him, but he's saying like, please help me, like I'm trying to find my sister and stuff like that, like I need to bring her back. And she's like, oh, once the hive got her, like, you know, once the entity got her, it's over, like she's gone, she's gone, right? But then he's like keeps asking and begging her, and she tells him basically he has to find an entry point to get back into like there's sinkholes, right? Like that will take you down under the tunnels or something like that. And so she ends up telling him where to find one, which is like a swimming pool. And so he goes into the swimming pool and like just starts stabbing at the sinkhole, at the pool, right? And it ends up like opening up, and he goes inside of it, and I want to say it's a swimming pool. I don't remember if it's a swimming pool or the slide he goes into. I think he ends up going to both, but he ends up going down there, and he basically sees like a bunch of like adults, like all just like they're building something. I don't know exactly what they're building, but they're just like nonstop building, right? And he just keeps exploring it, and like he sees like stomach acid on the floor and shit, so he's like he can't touch certain parts of the ground because um it's all acid. So he ends up like climbing over shit, and he just keeps searching for his sister Sasha, and eventually he finally finds her, But like before he finds her, he drops because they have candy that their dad made for them, and so it's like full of sugar, and he ends up dropping it on the ground by accident. And when he drops it, like the stomach acid becomes really hard, and so he's able to walk on there. So he's like, oh, so I can use this right against the. That's how he figures out that he can use like the sugar against the hive. So he ends up he finds his sister Sasha, but she's like she's all, brainwashed and like basically part of the hive mind, like she's being controlled and she's not reacting to her brother. But then her brother starts talking to her and he tries to like remind her who she is, and he gives her the piece of candy and she ends up eating it, and all those memories flood back in, and she's not controlled by the hive mind anymore. So she ends up reuniting with her brother, and she's like super happy, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't think I was gonna see you again," and stuff. It's a very emotional moment. And so what ends up happening, Sasha, Sasha, her brother Marco, and the maid, they end up teaming together because like at first they were just gonna leave, but then they're like, no, like they realize that there are still people down there, and all those kids, they're not evil, they're just being controlled by the entity. So they use they try to basically gather any like sugars that they have. Like I'm talking like they have their candy that their dad packed for them. They have the candies. They the maid, she can bake and stuff, so she ends up baking like a bunch of treats, like a bunch of snacks and sugar stuff. And then their brother also, he tells him about the weed killer. The weed, I think that's a little later, but the weed killer has like the soda in it, and so they end up being attacked by the children, by the hive again, and but they end up just using all the sugar they can, and they basically at the end they overcome it, and they drive away to a hospital because like they're all like fucked up. But overall, I don't know. It may sound boring the way I explained it. I'm trying to get a little better at this, but honestly, overall, it has like an old feeling to it, like an old school movie. It's kind of gross in some parts. It's not really bloody. This movie, it's not really gory. I mean, there is blood and stuff, but like I said, it's not super gory. But it's honestly a fun time. I mean, Sochi Gomez I thought did a fabulous job. Her brother, the guy who played her brother, did an amazing job. And it's just a brother and sister duo with the maid, and it was a good movie, honestly. Like it's not gonna blow you away, it's not gonna win awards, it's not gonna have people talking. But overall, like I had a good time with this. If I had to give it a rating, I don't know. I don't want to rate this movie because like I feel like it would be too low for a movie that was I had a great time with. It's not boring. It wasn't boring to me. Like it was a mystery, and like I said, there are some parts where the dialogue's not super strong. Like the writing's not great, but like I said, it was it was a fun one, and I enjoyed it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Did you guys watch The Hive? Did you have fun with it like I did? Did you thought it was bad? Leave a comment. Like the video. We're gonna try to keep going. We're gonna try to pump out more if we can. Yeah, like and subscribe. That's all I have for today. So Echo out. You guys have a good one. Also, Echo from the future, present, or whatever. I had no idea, but apparently this was actually a short film first. That was like around like 9 minutes. It's still kind of like the same premise I heard. I didn't get a chance to watch it or go over it or anything like that. I just thought it was really cool though that they made a short film and then decided to make a full movie from that. And from what I heard, it's kind of like the same premise, just some names are different. And I think the brother character is a newer addition. But overall, yeah, So I know I already ended the video, but I just kind of want to talk about the short film a little bit. It's still directed by the same director. Oh my gosh, Philippe Philippe Vargas. Oh my gosh, I don't know if it's Philippe or Felipe. I'm not sure. Philippe or Felipe Vargas. Not a not a bad way to have your career. Like I don't know if it's his first movie or not, but like I said, if you want to watch it, check it out. They have a short film, they have the actual movie, a full length movie on Tubi. It's free. Might as well check it out, right? And also, like, everything I kind of said about the movie is just like my opinion, from what I thought. So you could think it's terrible, you could think it's good. I know I've seen kind of mixed reviews on it, but yeah, let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.
Just for Kendra, motherfucker. Since you love her, be with her.